usually peaceful, serene, and quiet here in the Keys, but not today. The biggest, fastest race boats in the world will battle for the World Championship title.
Hello, everybody. Jim Hendrick along with Stan Lane in our Speed Vision mobile studios in beautiful Key West. It's the Fountain Key West Superboat World Championships, and it's a unique race. In fact, very unique because there's 2 rounds, and this is round number 2.
Certainly is, Jim. Round number 1, we saw some big seas. I'm talking 9-foot seas on the outside with 10-foot holes. The boats and the crews got beaten and battered, but they're back today. Now, Planet Man, he's got a big bullseye pin on his stern because he won the overall in round number 1. But it is cumulative points now, so today is very, very important. Now, the seas today have laid down somewhat. We're talking 2 to 3-foot seas on the outside, but turn number 1, where they call the wall, there's still 5-foot holes. The drivers will have to be very, very cognizant out there to avoid a mishap. We've had plenty of mishaps here in Key West. It is the granddaddy of offshore, the best place in the world to race. And when you talk best, SBI has the biggest, fastest race boats in the world, bar none. So if you're ready, let's trim those tabs up. Let's put the throttles down hard, and let's go racing and let the big dogs out.
The big dogs routed round number 1 stand. It was a 7-lap race for the big boys, and as they come out of the harbor, isn't this a beautiful sight?
Perfect start, Jed. It's a green flag, and those throttles are going down hard. Just we said, at Hydrogen Media Fountain right here, nearest to you, taking an early lead, but very, very close, battling out with Jaws. And on the far side, number 10, Big Thunder now, putting the coals to the fire.
Now, let us remind you, this is round 1. Earlier this week, we're taking a look back. The Big Ten Thunder Racing Team took the early lead.
And they're headed out towards that area we call the wall. It's turn number 1. And you can see now the water, how much bigger it does get out here.
Jaws ran well for the most of the afternoon. He challenged the Big Ten Thunder team early on.
Look at those waves, Jim. White caps already forming out there around the wall.
Number 11, Hydrogen Media Fountain, ran strong as well. Battled from the back to pass the number 3 Seminole Indian Casino. Look at the pass right here.
Yeah, the Seminole Indian Casino with a brand new sponsor this year, Maui Jim, and thanks to those hot, sweet sunglasses, Maui Jim style.
I like them. I'm wearing them right now, and I can see a great race as we look back in round number 1. Hydrogen Media Fountain running strong as always here in the Keys.
But the guy all year long who's been super strong is this boat right here, Planet Man.
And he's passing up now Jaws and heading toward the Big Thunder.
Seas continuing to build even as we speak, Jim. The winds are picking up, I'm being told, by race control. Jaws now staving off the attack by Planet Man, but how long can he do that? We'll have to wait and see.
This is, of course, round 1 action. Whoa!
Close action. My goodness.
Look at Big Thunder slid out. Jaws maintained its track, and we almost had a collision there.
Yeah, Big Thunder almost got those engines washed down, too. That is not good to get the salt water in those engines.
Well, that was our round 1 action. And as Stan said earlier, the number 1 Planet Man finally took the lead and on to victory and big points in Superboat winner round number 1.
Let's take a look at the standings for round 1. Of course, Planet Man victorious, the checkered flag, but Sloppy Joe's, Jim, came from way back to finish second. Great run for Mike Gerard.
There's the rest of the field in round number 1 action of the Fountain Key West Superboat Grand Prix. The Bandit in the Superboat Limited class dominated all day long in that first round, doing very well. Here are the Superboat Limited final results from round number 1. Bandit, Extractor, Solo, Zip, Team Boathouse, Snack, Attack.
Speaking of snack, are you hungry, Jim? We'll eat later. Let's watch this. This was great action all day long in Super V. Popeye Fountain, Rio Roses, duking it out, lefts, rights, uppercuts, but finally, when the spray settled, it was Rio Roses. Great job, Raul Boisel and Phil Lipschutz.
Yeah, they led the entire race until lap 7 when the V8 Popeye Fountain passed on the outside and never looked back.
V80. They were national champions and world champions last year. Can they do it again? Oh, boy. They're right now sitting very, very pretty on top. V80 Popeye Fountain with 504 points in round 1.
And here are the lineups for today's race.
Superboat lineups, everybody gunning for Planet Man. And they got some fast boats doing that.
Yes, they do. And in the Superboat Limited, Mr. Solo, Snack Attack, and the rest of the crew.
And in Superboat Limited also, don't forget about Zip Express, fast boat.
And in the Super V lineup, Fountain Altronics leads the way. We have plenty of onboard cameras. Here's an example. We're aboard the Jaws right now.
You're supposed to be on the other side.
Looking off the stern of Big Thunder Marine number 10. 4 engines in this boat, 4 1,200 horsepower engines. Off the stern now of Hydrogen Media Fountain.
We're going to take you for a ride in many boats today. You'll feel like just part of the action.
On board Zip Express right now, they have the open cockpit configuration, although they do have the F-16 canopies in the front.
Just about getting ready to start round number 2 here in Key West, Florida. Superboats getting on plane, Stan.
Pace boat in position now. The green flag, we have a start, Jim. And once again, Big Thunder with those 4 engines, 4 outdrives, and 4 props, pushing a lot of water, takes the early lead.
We're on board Big Thunder right now.
Your marker yet?
No, but I head over to the left a little bit.
You hear Bob Morgan and Lauren Leibel talking, conversing back and forth. You also hear them breathing that nitrox, that mixture of nitrogen and oxygen.
We're on board the Hydrogen Media Fountain. Whoa, look at somebody go through his stern. Well, we've got good action today.
Oh, all kinds of boats taking baths today. That is not good.
And the water being this rough, they're going to have to negotiate it without fighting each other, too.
Speaking of negotiating, we got several boats going off the top and other boats going the other way, so somebody is lost here. Let's take a look off the stern of Big Thunder as he just washes down the hydrogenmedia.com fountain boat. Bad.
Oh, boy, and the fountain, of course, went right through his rooster tail. Your current leader, the Big Thunder, the number 10 racing team. We'll be back with more action after this timeout. Don't you go away. World Championship brought to you by the Florida Keys and Key West Monroe County Tourist Development Council. Come by the Fountain Powerboats, because there is a difference. And by Seminole Indian Casinos, catch the excitement. Welcome back to Key West on the Naval Base. I'm Jim Hendrick along with Stan Lane, and the action continues in round number 2.
All those sailors getting a bird's eye view off that big naval ship now. We're getting a bird's eye view off the stern of Jaws. What a battle behind Jaws. You see on the left of your screen, that's number 2 Sloppy Joe's, number 3 the Seminole Indian Casino Maui Jim's boat.
In the cockpit of the Jaws now, looking forward, looking at the course to come. You can see the helicopters swarming around, watching these boats. Safety crews are in the air and on the water.
Uh-oh, it appears we have a problem on Jaws, Jim. Those engines do not sound good.
Nope, I think they're going to be out of this race.
Oh.
Look at my boost gauge.
Yeah, they obviously lost boost on those supercharged engines, and they, unless they can get the other one started, man, back there out of the race. But Big Thunder leads the way right now. He's headed for a world championship, possibly, if he can keep it up.
We're on board the Hydrogen Media Fountain, currently 2nd overall. You see the Planet Man off to the left and coming up.
And you see that scoop there, and Jerry Gilbreth, a very smart man, has actually covered his scoops up. Now, he sacrifices the cooler air, but he keeps that salt water from getting into the engines should somebody wash him down. We've seen a lot of washing down so far.
Look at him fight that wheel in the Hydrogen Media Fountain, making that turn. Throttle man has to coordinate his speed as he makes that turn, or they can spin out. It's a team action all the way.
And now we have the start of the Super V's, and they're taking off. And Popeye Fountain now leading the charge. Fountain Electronics close behind, as is Rio Roses.
Beautiful sight as they come out of the harbor. This is the Bandit 31, first in the Superboat Limited class. We're on board with that team.
And, Jim, they're getting a very smooth ride on this part of the course as they head out now towards turn 1, where it will get a lot rougher.
As we said, we have many cameras in these boats, fore and aft.
On board now, Firewater V21, the big man in the middle, Seesaw on the wheel, a navigator and a throttle man alongside him. This boat, of course, open canopy configuration. They are standing up. They absorb the shock with their knees.
From our helicopter, here's the V1 Fountain Electronics leader in class with V80, the Popeye Fountain, 2nd.
This boat, one of the smaller boats in the Super V, but when you have smooth water, a smaller, lighter boat is the way to go. If you have big water, you need a bigger, heavier boat.
Look at the way they mark, the way they've been from our helicopter. You can tell how they're maintaining their lanes.
Notice how the Popeye tries to stay outside of that white water, because the white water there is turbulated. It's got air in it. You don't get quite as good a push off the water. You get a better bite off that clean water that he's in now.
On board the V80 Rio Roses Cigarette, 3rd in class, in hot pursuit of those 2 fountain boats.
Whoa, look at, oh my goodness, Jim. I thought they spun out for a second. I saw a wall of water.
Oh, they really had visibility zero, but they came out okay. A view of one of our many speed vision cameras aboard many of the boats here today. The hydrogen media fountain leading the way. One of the favorites of all times, throttle man Jerry Gilbreth talked about the race earlier today.
The fans are going to love it. They're going to see a tremendous amount of horsepower and takeoff, and there's going to be some strategy depending on the wave conditions and things. We're not out of it. We're in third place. Planet Man ran very well, and we're looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a really good race.
The battle continues for first, the 11 Hydrogen Media Fountain and the Big Ten Thunder Racing as they come into the turn on the waters of Key West, Florida.
And those turns, Jim, is where Big Thunder seems to have the advantage because he has 4 props pushing the water as opposed to Hydrogen Media, who really airs it out on the straightaways.
And what a beautiful view we get from inside the hydrogenmedia.com fountain as he makes his turn.
Remember that old song, What a Difference a Day Makes? I'll tell you what a difference these seas are today. These are almost smooth compared to those 8 to 9 foot waves.
What was that?
It's like a blower belt blew, or either he lost an engine, Jim. That is not good.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it's going to take him right out of the race, and your new leader is going to be the number 10, Big Thunder.
On the left side, Big Thunder making the pass. Obviously, the Hydrogen Media fountain boat, is definitely slowing down. Major problems for that boat. What a shame.
We're on board now, the Big Ten Thunder Racing, looking back off the stern. Look at that water being churned up by those powerful engines.
Oh, the boys from Lake of the Ozarks. I bet they can smell that checkered flag. But it's not over yet, boys, so don't get too overconfident.
Inside, so just be good for the pin.
Bob Morgan talking about looking for the pin just outside shy of the harbor. They'll make their turn to go back out to complete another lap. And look at that big 4-engine boat turn inside. I'll tell you, that's a tight turn.
And now Planet Man headed that same way, trying to close down.
He's in second place. He also negotiates the turn pretty well. The Seminole Indian Casino. Here's your third place boat.
This is the other boat in the fleet, which also has 4 engines, but this boat has only 2 outdrives. 4 engines made it to 2 outdrives.
We're on board the Big Ten Thunder Racing as he heads out towards turn 1. We've been talking about the wall as about one of the most dangerous spots on the course. So earlier we asked a bunch of the drivers, what is the wall?
The wall is where the water goes from a nice, calm, manageable sea to what I call the mountains of Key West.
There's like a tsunami wave there.
It's either ugly or it's real ugly. It's a big introduction to about probably 12-foot rollers.
Monster waves, unbelievable.
The waves stand straight up, and the boat has a tendency of doing moonshots.
That's what makes racing a challenge.
So that's what they think of the wall. We'll be back with more great racing from Key West in just a moment. Key West Superboat Grand Prix and a great crowd on hand to watch this World Championship race.
In the Fountain Mercury, number 7. Reggie Fountain's boat, of course, Curtis Francois, the driver, and Mike Seabold of Tunnel Boat fame on the throttles today.
Hydrogen Media Fountain is limping back home now after we heard that big whoop. Meanwhile, V1 Fountain Electronics, first in class, chased furiously by the V80 Popeye Fountain, second in class.
Oh, these boats have been so close all day long, but right now, this little boat, 39 feet in, I shouldn't say little, 39 feet in length, but little compared to the other boats, is leading the way, showing his stern to the other fleet of Super V boats.
Look at this crowd.
Oh, my goodness!
What happened? Did you see that? It looked like he kind of... Did he flip the boat?
No, that rooster tail, though, that was a telltale spin out for that rooster tail, but it wasn't. Thank goodness it wasn't.
Boy, it scared me. I thought he had lost it.
This is exciting. What a race. These guys let it all hang out. They put it all on the line for the World Championships.
Inside the cockpit in white water. Look at him fight that wheel.
RioRoses.com now negotiating the turn. These step-bottom boats are a little slippery. You have to slow down. Phil's pulling the drives in. Trimming it out, and now you hear him hit it. Oh, my goodness!
He's going over.
Jim, they barrel roll. They barrel rolled. The cockpit's going to fill up with water. They got to get out of there. They got to wait for the medical guys to arrive. You see the red lights on the dash. That means emergency.
Boy, they are upside down. Our camera's inside. Oh.
Let's watch that again in slow motion, Jim. They're negotiating the turn. Everything appears to be fine, but then all of a sudden they slip and slide. They hook a chine, and the boat barrel rolls upside down. That is scary.
And speed vision cameras right there with them.
And speaking of being right there, so is our medical crew, the SBI team, right on the scene within seconds. And both guys appear to be fine. They will race again. They'll have to completely re-rig that boat, however.
They'll race again, but not today, while the V-21 third in class, open cockpit, driver, navigator, throttle man, side by side.
One of the older style boats now. You get a bird's eye view of just what it's like to be standing up in one of these boats going 110 miles an hour. You see the full face coverage helmets on there. That would protect the face should the boat nose in. And this is a brand new boat right here, Jim. Super Boat Limited boat. Just fresh out of the mold. And they didn't tow this boat down to Key West. They actually drove it down from Miami.
Well, they're going for a good ride. The 9th overall, 6th in class. In this particular boat, it is a thing of beauty. Very nice looking.
It's a wow thing of beauty. But the boat's brand new. As I said, they have to dial it in, you know, get the center of gravity right, get the balance right. But these guys, this boat's been dialed in for years. A very, very fast hull, the Fountain Mercury #7.
Yeah, they're 7th overall, 5th in class. As we said, many classes race in superboat racing at the same time. So we will point out who is 1st overall and 1st within their class. Here is 4th overall, 4th in class, the Sloppy Joes right here from Key West.
Well, they sure are. We always have a great time at the Sloppy Joe's bar. And, Jim, I've seen you do some wild dancing out there, bud.
Well, Big John tries to contain me, but, you know, I've got to let loose once in a while.
They just can't hold you back. Nor can they hold this man back. Planet Man, Russ Houston, Tim Chasuli from New Jersey. This boat was brand new at the start of the year. And I tell you what, he has done a tremendous job all year long.
3rd overall, 3rd in class. Planet Man.
The newest boat in the superboat fleet.
Seminole Indian Casino, in their 2nd overall, 2nd in class. And this is, I think, the biggest boat in the fleet.
It certainly is. You are correct, sir. 50 feet in length, 4 1,300 horsepower engines powering 2 Arneson drives.
4 engines. One goes out of sync, causes a problem with the other 3, to be sure. Yep, they're not going that fast, Dan. They do have a problem. Has to be.
Most definitely, Jim. Yeah, that's a shame, too. Beautiful boat.
Meanwhile, our leader is the Big Thunder Racing. They're the overall leader and doing quite well. Listen to that boat hum.
Oh, this boat is the loudest boat in the fleet. For some reason, he's got 4 engines, of course. But listen to that boat. That boat screams when it goes by. The fans love it.
And Robert Morgan, out of Lake of the Ozarks, he loves it, too. Lots of people on the beach loving it and loving the day. We'll be back after this timeout. Key West, as Speed Vision presents the Fountain Powerboat Superboat World Championship.
The sun reflecting off the water, and the waters are very, very smooth today, and I'm glad because that means we're seeing some high speeds, and we're checking out right now Bandit with Al Izzo as the driver, and of course Kurt Berger from New Jersey on the throttle. Beautiful boat.
They're 1st in class. Let's go aboard.
Anybody on the side of me? I don't see anybody. I'm coming into the turn from here. All right, easy on it. Okay.
Yeah, easy on it. We want to see more barrel rolls, do we, Jim?
That's right. We do not want to see any barrel rolls. The Bandit is turning now. Snack Attack takes the inside lane and passes 1st in class. Look at that pass.
Well, obviously, the Bandit did not see Snack Attack doing a sneak attack on them as they snuck up and made a great pass on the inside.
That's not good. That's not good. Let's go get him. Okay.
I hear that. That's not good. We didn't see those guys.
Well, you see the reflection off that Lexan canopy as the water is all beaded up, so it does restrict visibility somewhat.
And the 31 Bandit catching up the Snack Attack again. They're going to pass to regain the lead. The lead of the Superboat Limited class. And you're right there with them.
Well, Snack Attack is a smaller catamaran, much more nimble than this big aluminum boat. But the aluminum boat appears to have the straightaway speed.
I gave him the no-no finger. What? I did this to him.
Just kind of dip it in and see what they say.
Well, at least he didn't tell me he was #1, right?
That's exactly right.
Zip Express, zipping right along here. Beautiful boat. Now, this boat, Jim, is unusual because it's a race pleasure boat. They race the boat, but it's also used as a pleasure boat, as you can see by the configuration there. They do have a back seat, but it's covered now by a fiberglass panel.
We're on board with them now.
What did you say? It's all the way up, trust me. Boathouse is 21 seconds behind.
Yeah, he was sitting there 42 seconds behind Bandit, but they're 21 seconds ahead of Boathouse.
Not too shabby as we look at the Team Boathouse, fourth in class. Coming up out of that turn, heading back out to open seas and back to the wall in turn number 1.
Yeah, let's check out now Mr. Solo with Kenneth Charles as the driver. An older boat. Darren Marshall, of course, on throttles, doing a good job, but this is an older design hull. Doesn't have the steps, so he's a little bit down on speed. Now, if the waters were rougher, Jim, this boat might have the advantage.
Yep, it's a deep V hull meant to cut those ways. Pretty nice looking boat, open cockpit. As we look at the extractor, sixth in class, also an open cockpit boat, but a catamaran with 2 canoes and a wing.
These guys have been relentless all year long. Extractor team, another team from up north around New York, New Jersey way. 32-foot boat, a smaller, shorter boat than most boats in the class, but it's a fast little boat.
You know, Stan, Tim Chisuli and this gang of Planet Men, well, they really are racing well and steady and consistent in second place now in the outside harbor turn ahead of Sloppy Joe.
Well, they're making a smart turn. They're going wide. Whoa, look at Sloppy Joe. Speaking of turns, hugging the pin, slicing, dicing, and now he's caught up to Planet Man.
Whoa, we've got a race deck to deck, and earlier in competition round 1, Sloppy Joe's was second.
We had it hooked up real good. Our motors are running perfect, and I just picked the right kind of props to run for that day.
I don't think it's going to be quite as rough today, but you never know here in Key West. What's your strategy for today?
I just got to wait and see what the wind kicks up and make hopefully the right prop combination again today, and I should be looking good.
Well, he's looking pretty good in smoother waters here in round number 2, to be sure.
You heard him mention the right prop combination. These teams have so many different props to put on there for smooth water, for rough water, for the turns, and the way he turned a little while ago, he's got the right props on there. We're on board now with Big Thunder.
Big Thunder is our leader, getting a pretty smooth ride out in front. Bob Morgan, he is loving this every minute.
You can hear how fast these guys are breathing. The adrenaline on these race boats and going at these speeds really gets you charged up, really makes your body work very, very hard. They're very athletic. All right, there's the Fountain boat. Reggie Fountain's so proud, like a proud papa. He's got so many boats here. We talked to Reggie a little bit earlier.
Reggie, since your return as one of the major sponsors of Superboat International, you feel it was successful?
Oh, you betcha I do. We always enjoy racing over here with John Carbonell and Superboat. It's good racing. They're not trying to disqualify half the fleet of winners, and that's good. Who wins, wins. And it shows the boats off. He's got the fastest boats in the world, and we're really enjoying racing over here with John.
Since you were here before, you've kind of changed hats. You don't drive anymore.
Well, I've got so many boats out here now. I'm running around trying to help all my customers with their boats. That's the deal I want to do now is to let all my customers know that if they're in a Fountain boat, we're going to do everything we can to see that they win. We help them with technological changes. We help them with equipment. We help them with anything we can to put them in first place.
Reggie Fountain, one of the stalwart supporters of SPI Racing. As we look down the midway, more action to come. Stay tuned. For the final round of the World Championships. Now let's go back and look at our other classes. Round 1 earlier this week.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jim, despite the horrendous seas, just check it out. In Pro 1, P71 won after race 1. They finished with 501 points. P5 Pancreacar came in with 450 points. Look at that water. It is brutal. Moving on down to Sportsman B. B88 Media Master was victorious. They garnered 501 points over the Muscle. The outboard boys really had a tough day in those lightweight boats, those catamarans. S69 Bodyguard took the win in stock class, 503 points. Bermuda Barracuda was second with 452. Port Alm was third, and Blondie brought up the field. S9 Blondie was fourth. F11, compute this, offshore 1 and manufacturers 1. 29-foot boat. You got to tip your hat to these guys. Second place with 452 points was F129 Typhoon. Manufacturers 2 points after race 1. F2-07 Bang Cafe Wild Child, and believe you me, it was wild out there. Mikasuki Indian Gaming was second. Outlaw third, Renegade fourth, and Fountain came in fifth. Manufacturers 2. Great race, guys.
A1 Extreme Stainless Marine took round 1 in the production A. They really had a rough race, but they hung on to win round 1. There's the rest of the lineup, followed by Extinguisher, Fury, the Shark, etc. Now let's go to Stan Lane.
Rick, in round 1, boy, it was all yours out there, but today it's going to be a different story, but you are ahead in points. Will you be world champion? You're already national champion.
We're going to try to do a back-to-back world champion. We won last year, and maybe the water will lay down. I could really let this black boat scream if it can.
Did you have any problems out there in round 1 at all? It looked like the boat had a great ride attitude.
We went under a couple times, totally buried the boat like 2 or 3 times, and the other boats were running strong, and I slowed down a little too early. They caught me, so I'm going to keep the hammer down the whole race this time.
Some of our classes for round 2 action started earlier today. Now let's go back. All these classes that you see on the screen are racing together as they start just outside the harbor down the turn number 1.
Yeah, of course, for safety purposes, we have so many boats that want to come to Key West and race in the World Championships. You have to have many, many starts to avoid confusion and the possibility of boats banging into each other. So that's why we have all the starts. And I'll tell you what, it's exciting from start to finish, Jim.
And Bermuda, Barracuda led round number 2 from start to finish after Bodyguard took round number 1.
S9 Blondie stayed in second place the entire race. Great run for this boat.
A good, steady performance as they negotiate the tight turn earlier this morning. And here, your world champion leading the entire race this morning, A1 Extreme Stainless Marine.
Well, also leading the entire race, P71 High Risk. You see him coming into your screen right now. 32-foot catamaran with the outboard power, looking good.
B1, The Muscle, also takes the win earlier this morning in round number 2 here in Key West.
And they also get the Stan Lane Party Award for the 3rd or 4th year in a row.
Ha ha! Did you go?
These guys can party, dude.
I know, and I don't go anywhere near them.
Well, there was one big party in Manufacturers 2. Close battle all day long, Jim, between the F276 Fountain, the F230 Mikosuke Indian Gaming, and the F207 Bang Cafe Wild Child.
And reminding you right now, we're looking at highlights of round 2 morning action with the smaller class boats. They got their round 2 in earlier, and a great fleet of spectators also on hand.
And it was the F230 Mikosuke Indian Gaming eventually taking the lead, and they are the world champions. Congratulations, guys.
Look at them. They're happy. That's action this morning. They'll take the checkered flag. Also, this morning, the F-129 Typhoon, they came in. Look at them. They're happy. They'll get their checkered flag.
Hey, it's a lot of work. You lay it on the line like these guys do. You need to reward yourself by shaking your fist and just having a great time.
This morning, the final result, world champion in the B-class high risk. Meanwhile, David Branch, the world champion, and that came from The Muscle.
This is the day. We came here again as the national champions. 5 years this race has taken us out. We haven't been able to do it. And finally, we nailed this bad boy. This is the day for the Muscle team.
And it's time for another party. Here's your stock final results with Bermuda, Barracuda, the winner.
What a great race. Gee whiz. We had a tough start, got worked down by Blondie, but once we got to the first turn first, it was all over.
Production A, final results, Extreme Stainless Marine, Rick Turmel. Those guys really worked.
We had a great season. This makes 10 in a row. The dependability is the whole key. With all our sponsors, with Dollar Offshore, Blue Thunder Engines, and Stainless Marine Dominator Exhaust. Without them, that's what it takes, teamwork.
Here's the manufacturer 1 final results. Remember, ties are broken by average speeds through the course of the weekend. The winner, Typhoon.
The race was fantastic. Crowds here were great. You really had a good time.
In the F2, it's Mikosuke Indian Gaming. Scott Bender and his crew, the winners.
We had a great deal going with the national championship, and we're just a little too aggressive on it. Came out here on
Wednesday and put up a good show and finished by 1 second behind in second place, which was real exciting. We're happy for that, and then just came out and did what we had to do today.
There you have it, a quick look at early morning action of round 2 for other classes. We're back now as the big boys still fighting for the checker flag. Lots of people. We'll be back in a moment. Back here in Key West, Jim Hendrick, as we look at Big Thunder passing another class boat, the Popeye Fountain.
Big Thunder leading the way now. You know, Bob Morgan refers to this boat as the big dog. And he says, move over and let the big dog eat. But right now, Big Thunder's eating all it wants to.
Inside the cockpit of Big Thunder.
You're 1 minute 49 seconds ahead of Planet Man, and Sloppy is right behind him, so...
That's radio control. The crews on shore is keeping track of boat positions and radioing their guys in the cockpit.
So it appears that right now, as we speak, they have a pretty good cushion. But, you know, Jim, anything can happen. 40% of these boats do not finish the race. With 4 engines, 4 outdrives, brother, you know that they got their fingers crossed.
Planet Man, second place. Tim Chichuli has a lot of fun with the Planet Man Superman theme this year. At the driver's meeting this morning, look at him. Planet Man! He clowns it up, but he's very serious when he's in the cockpit. And he's currently in second place all day. Tim told us that's not a bad place to be in second place.
With the lead that we have, it's not a place where we need to be right now. There's a lot of other guys that need to be out front. So we're just going to push them along a little bit and watch them make some mistakes. And then towards the end, you'll see the Planet Man come back full blast.
Jim, we're getting some distressing news. You see it right now from race control. Sloppy Joe's has barrel roll flipped upside down, but we are being told as we speak that both driver and throttle man are A-OK.
That means we have a new third-place boat, Seminole Indit Casino, now third place.
Wow, already, Jim, 2 boats of barrel roll, which just goes to show you don't have to have rough water to have incidents.
Seminole doesn't look like they're going very fast, but they now have taken over third place due to the misfortunes of the Sloppy Joe. Here's the V1 Fountain, 4th place overall, but first within their class, and that's what's important.
Yeah, these guys so far have led wire to wire. Popeyes has been nipping at their heels all day long, but they've been able to hold them off so far. Look at them carve that turn. These fountain boats can really take a turn great, even though they do have the step bottom.
And they do a very fine turn. Then they come out the straightaway, chine walk just a little bit, then hit it. Here is your V80 Popeye Fountain, second place. Dominic Visconti Jr., the owner and driver. John Tomlinson, veteran on the throttles.
And Jim, I'm keeping a clock on these guys. They are closing down on the Fountain Electronics boat, so they're really letting it all hang out. They've got those throttles to the wall.
Third in class is Kenneth Charles and Mr. Solo. Dolly Marshall is on the throttle. Lots of celebrities out for this big race. Of course, one is Al Copen, who is a past SBI national and world champion. He was there at the party, at the race, with his old entourage.
I love coming to races. I can't race anymore since I had a spinal cord injury. I can't twist it in rough water. But I keep my boats here. I love the sport. I love the people in it. And I bring all my stuff here. We got Winston Cup cars. We got 10 Boss Hoss motorcycles. We got three race boats. And it's just a lot of fun.
Wow, and what a party Al Copeland can throw. It was super sweet. Had a great time to the wee hours of the morning. Thank you, Al, baby.
And congratulations on his new marriage. We'll be back in a moment.
Back to the business. Thanks, Al. Thanks, Al.
To do in Key West every day of the year. Everyone always has a good time coming down to Key West.
Drink, you look silver.
You had it your eyeballs. You had too much to drink.
Jim, I only drink milk. But speaking of drinking, check out Firewater. They are super consistent. This boat's like the Energizer battery. Just keeps on ticking.
Yeah, an older boat. They're having a lot of fun, and they're very consistent in that open cockpit as we look at them from the bow back on one of our Speed Vision cameras.
And by the way, the guy in the middle with his hands on the steering wheel is not standing on a box. He's about 6'6".
Popeye Fountain, second in class. They won the first round, but that's not enough for this crew. They want a title.
We got to go hard today, too. It's important to try and win this race also. Second place, second place is not going to be good. We're going to try and win it.
John Thompson, so laid back when you talk to him, but out there inside that boat, brother, he is all business.
The Fountain Electronics, first in class. They've led the Super Vs here today all day.
But as you can see, Jim, they are not letting up. They're really, really taking these turns hard. That boat just almost just cut the corner like an L. Amazing.
Yep, they lay it right over on their side and maintain control. The 31 Bandit leading the Superboat Limited, being chased by the Snack Attack.
All day long, these boats have battled. You can almost lay a blanket across them. It's been so close. In the turns now, watch that smaller boat on the inside, see if they can make the passes he's done so many times.
There's the tight turn stand just outside the harbor. They're competing very... Whoa, look at this boat. The Snack Attack takes the inside. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I see him. Let's take him. Why don't we just stay with him? All right, stay with him.
They said, should we take him? Now let's just stay with him. Little cat and mouse game.
Well, as this happens all day long, the bigger boat can take them on the straightaway, but the smaller boat takes them on the turns.
Also, they have to plan for that with the checkered flag waiting. Zip Express, third in class, making its turn.
Beautiful 36-foot catamaran, open cockpit design. And this good friend always opens his arms to us.
The city of Key West always looks forward to the Superboat races every year. The citizens of this community just get crazy about these boats, and Superboat racing has been extremely good for the city of Key West.
That's Julio Aviel, the city manager of Key West. He's always happy to be at the race.
Oh, he's a great guy. He takes real good care of us every time we come down to his city.
Extractor, fifth in class, open cockpit, getting a ride, coming in towards the tight turn.
This boat also very capable in the turns, 32 feet in length. They just carve it right out. The boat just corners flat, as catamarans are prone to do. Whereas a deep V will lean into the turn. Oh, trouble now. That's a blown drive if I ever saw one. And that looks like, Jim, it's Planet Man. Is it Planet Man?
Yep,
yeah, number one.
It's Planet Man. They're second place, but that Roostertail, you're right, Stan. This is not good.
They've had it their way all year long, but it's not to be today at the World Championships.
Yep, they're going to shut it down, head for the pits, and call it a day. They are out of the race after so many laps of good competition and smart driving. That'll put the number 3 boat, the Seminole Indian Casino, now goes second place in class. They don't seem like they've been riding hard all day at all.
Jim, we've said it so many times, it's just almost redundant, but it's worth repeating. You have to finish to win, right?
Right. And this is the intention of this boat making its turn. The Big Thunder Racing Team, Bob Morgan, is number 1 overall and number 1 in class.
It's right about now where you start to hear little gremlins, little noises that sound strange, and you say, please don't let it happen. Just please keep these engines, keep these drives together. I'll do anything. Just let us win.
That's the goal. The Big Thunder Racing Team, first place. Number 1, Planet Man, being towed in after a great day of racing. We have more. The checkered flags are waiting. We'll be back. Up by Fountain, they flipped over, but word has it, everybody's okay. That's the third.
Once again, say what a great job the SBI rescue teams do. They were there on top of that boat in 7 seconds.
Fountain Electronics, first in class, leading wire to wire so far. But now they're the only boat in class because Firewater, we hear now, is out of the race.
I said earlier about 40% of these boats don't finish. I think it's even going up higher. You know why? Because we have smooth water conditions today, and we're seeing high speeds.
Aboard the Big Thunder Racing. Let's listen.
Keep her going, Bobby.
Well, we lost an out drive.
Did we?
Yep.
Well, there's the word. Lauren Livel says keep going. Bobby, he just said we've lost an out drive.
Yeah, the good news is they've got 3 left to go on.
And they just might do it because we're getting close to the end of the race. Meanwhile, also, number 2 would be the Seminole Indian Casinos. Let's see. Here they come. They're second. And they look like they're running a little better.
Yeah, they certainly do. They're airing that big 50-foot cat out now. What Bob Morgan's going to do on the Big Thunder is raise that injured drive up as high as he can to reduce the drag and hopefully maintain some speed.
We're back on board now, Big Thunder Racing. Let's see if we can pick up any sounds. Not running. not fast as they could. Well, you can see that rooster tail is down the stern, but now they're starting to come back up on plane. Look at the tail start to rise. But they're in trouble because here comes the Seminole Indian Casino boat. Watch out, there's going to be a challenge. Here they are.
He is. Look at this. This is speed now. Big Thunder Sea with 3 engines and 3 drives almost maintains it, but Seminole going on past now. Dan Campbell got to be a big smile across his face right now.
Oh, boy, the end of the race. And all of a sudden, the Seminole Indian Casino comes alive. Here is the 777 Zip Express, their first in Superboat Limited class. A pleasure boat, you say?
Well, race/pleasure.
All right. Snack Attack, second in the Superboat Limited class. And they battled the Bandit all day long. Meanwhile, the Naked Tan Gals waving the checkered flag, and the winner for today's race, the Seminole Indian Casino. But I don't think they won the World Championship overall for the 2-day event. We'll be back to find out. World Championship is brought to you by the Florida Keys and Key West and the Monroe County Tourist Development by Fountain Powerboats, because there is a difference, and by the Seminole Indian Casinos. Catch the excitement. Oh, Stan, it was a great day of racing. Military and civilians alike trotting around this course at beautiful Key West. Let's take a look now at the finals, the way they stand.
All right, here are your final results for round number 2. Seminole Indian Casino taking the checkered flag with 507 points.
We really had a good day. We did lose one motor, had to run on 3, but we were just trying to make up enough time to get into the numbers to do it. But as things worked out, it just didn't work out. So we did have a good day, though.
Yes, they did. They won round 2. Round 2 winner in the Superboat Limited. Final results with the Zip Express on top.
We held together great from the beginning. We started off in 4th and just kept going from there. It just took off, and we were just happy and came all the way around and took the extra lap, and it was our victory lap. We had a blast. That Spectre boat and Extreme Graphics, they did a great job for us.
Super V results. The V1 Fountain Altronics picked up 503 points with a victory in round 2 today. Popeye Fountain second, Firewater third, and so on. The 2-day tally of competition has claimed the Planet Man as the overall winner in the Superboats.
Well, I'll tell you, this has just been one hell of a fantasy season for us. To come here as the national champion after setting a world speed record and now winning the world championship is really an amazing thing.
And congratulations to 777 Zip Express for 2 days of work. They are the Superboat Limited World Champions. And Popeye Fountain, after 2 hard days of racing, are your Super V World Champions.
We had a lot of boats upside down today, but while we ran, the boat was real strong. We were pacing ourselves, and we just had a little mishap or a mistake in that first turn there, about 3 laps to go, and she caught and went upside down, and luckily everything's okay, and Dominic wasn't hurt, I wasn't hurt, boat's not hurt. We can fix that, so thank God everybody's okay.
Out of all the boats that did flip, 3 of them, in fact, no one was hurt at all, not even a scratch. It's a testament to the tremendous safety factors we have here at SBI with the F-16 Lexan fighter canopies and Dominic, but it's been a great season for Team Popeye.
It really has. We really got the boat running great near the end of the season, made some substantial changes in the last few races. Real happy with the way the boat ran. Unfortunately, don't know exactly really what happened in that turn, but as John said, the most important thing is everybody's okay, and we'll be looking forward to next year.
So the season is over. The world champions have been crowned, and the waters of Key West once again have been survived by the crews. Damage to the boats? Yes, but the crews are fine, and that's the best news of all, Stan. It's been a great race.
Once again, Jim, always a pleasure working with you all year long. We love it here at SBI.
Ditto, Stan. Always a pleasure working with you, too. Now, for more information, log on to www.speedvision.com. Now, Superboat International, produced by Diamond P Sports in association with Speedvision. For Stan Lane, I'm Jim Hendrick. So long, everybody.